Great to see you guys. Yes, I am at the airport here in Dallas, Texas. So getting ready to catch a flight to Scottsdale. Great to see everybody. I got to keep my voice down. I can't be the normal crazy man that I am because there's people everywhere. So you're going to have to just deal with it. I know it's weird for me too. I don't like it, but I'm on like the fourth day of my cold. So I'm feeling somewhat mellow anyways, but I'm definitely on the mend. Anyway, so today what I'm going to cover is some highlights of a meeting I attended in Dallas yesterday with the top 200 agents at EXP. Glenn Sanford flew in. Leo was there. Amy Weaver, all the VPs. It was awesome. Super exciting. So while we have a few people jumping on, I'll give you some updates. Number one, the amount of homes being sold in Canada right now is through the roof. Canada is on fire, the Canadian market. Best we've ever done. We're just slaying the dragon. I wish I couldn't find my notes. I went to look for them after this. I'm not sure quite where I put them, but it is awesome, the numbers we're pulling in Canada. We are just kicking butt. I did get the numbers for the U.S. Guess how many deals a month we're closing right now? 45,000. 45,000 closings a month. That is pretty awesome. So super excited about that. And then we're going to also, by the way, Russ, I'm going to have you talk about USA home beds at 310 or at 210. So I'm just giving you a warning. I want you to give them a 5-minute spiel on USA home bids and how they can all benefit from that at 210. See how we do? That's how we roll sometimes when Gove's got a cold and he's at the airport. And I'm literally boarding my flight at 210 Pacific. So I cannot do it. So Russ, I'm going to leave you. You're all in good hands with Russ. If you don't know what USA home bids is, you've been warned. It is awesome. So we're going to do a breakout session on it in Cabo in my presidential suite. Okay, with that said, enough said. Today we're going to have a discussion around co-sponsoring, and I'm going to explain it to you in detail. I'm going to take Q&A, so it's really cool. We all talked about it for hours. There is no downside; it's only a positive. So here's how it works. Have you ever seen people, if you've been around, they go, oh my gosh, I wish I was in Go-Go's group. I wish I was in Kyle Whistle's group. I wish I was in the Honey Badgers. I wish I was in the Wolf Pack. I wish I had been sponsored by Tina Call. I wish I had a different sponsor. And you want to be a part of the organization. Now the cool thing is, let's say your favorite person's Jay Kinder or Tina Call or Veronica Figueroa or Wendy Goss, guess what? You could sponsor your favorite person in your group and they're on your level one. And it's like a whole new business for them at EXP. It's kind of weird, I know. So like someone can sponsor me and put me in their group. Now, it can't work for those of you that are in my business. It has to be someone not in your 7 levels, right? But I'll give you an example of how this works. Normally we sponsor somebody, go, hey, my aunt up in Portland is really excited about this. So then you sponsor the aunt. Where's the office for the aunt to go? There isn't one. Where's the local meetings for the aunt? There isn't one. It's us helping your aunt in Portland. They tend to be isolated and alone. They feel like they're lone wolfing it. They feel not connected. We try to find out who's doing what in Portland or Seattle or Phoenix or Tampa and try to plug them in. Like Clark and I have been working on someone in Atlanta, and we have people that are graciously trying to take his person in, but it's me and Clark helping this poor woman in Atlanta, and she feels like an outsider. She's showed up to events. She's trying to plug in. Well, through co-sponsor, what you could do is find the number one person in Las Vegas, Wendy Goss, or you could find the number one person in Tampa, Levi or James or Tamara, and you could have them sponsor your person instead of your person coming on level one. You don't have to do this, by the way. You don't like it, you don't have to do it. I think it's brilliant. Instead of them coming on your level one, they come in on your level two, and you sponsor. Let's use Wendy, for example, in Las Vegas. You sponsor Wendy. Wendy's now in your group. You're not a part of Wendy's group. You're Wendy's in your group. You're like Krista Mayshore, sponsor Krista Mayshore. Krista's in your group on level one. And then Krista sponsors your person on your level two. Krista wins. You literally gave Krista somebody. And then Krista helps you and Krista, or you and Wendy in Las Vegas, help this person grow it out. Or you could sponsor someone in Vail, Colorado, and they go, well, where do I go? Like, I don't know. Go try to meet some EXP agents. And we've done it this way for 14 years, since 2009, 16 years. And it was hard. And, you get someone in Mumbai? Great. Where do I go to meet other EXP agents? You're it, So you could find the number one person in Barcelona and they sponsor them. You sponsor the person in Barcelona. They're in your group. It's like, Doesn't matter what Tina Cole built or this person in Barcelona. They literally get a new business position. They're in your group. You're not a part of Jay Kinder. Jay Kinder's in your organization. Tina Cole's in your organization. Wrap your brain around this. I don't like the word co-sponsoring. They call it co-sponsoring. Co it's kind of insinuates side by side, husband and wife, cohabitating, partners side by side. It's vertical. It's not side by side. There's no co about it. You sponsor Kyle Whistle. You sponsor Veronica Figueroa. You sponsor your favorite person. And you take this person you met in Tucson, and then you put them under that person who's got an office in Tucson, who's doing meetings in Tucson. There's collaboration, there's community, there's culture thing for the play. Again, you don't have to do this. Let me ask you a question. If you were in San Diego and you could be sponsored by Kyle Whistle and or me, it would be better for them sponsored by Kyle in office. Kyle has weekly meetings. He has monthly meetings, things they can plug into. Kyle totally benefits from this. He does. But so do you. Or you can do it yourself. And then they go, well, where do I plug in? You're like, well, you'll be okay. I'll try to find some other stuff. So this is it. So again, whoever you sponsor, they're on your tier 1, just like the 7, just like we do. And whoever they sponsor is your tier 2. So let's say the person you gave, and this example to Wendy Goss, she gets a windfall. You flop someone in her lap. Wendy's on your tier 1. They're on your tier 2. Let's say they sponsor 40 people. Those 40 are on your tier 3. Let's say those 40 people each average 2. Now there's 80 on your tier 4. Let's say they each tell somebody. Now there's 160 on your tier 5. They each tell someone. There's 320 on your tier 6. And they each tell someone there's 740 or 640 on your tier 7. You get paid on all of them. You get 100% of the revenue share. And then if those are worried, well, if my group does this, am I going to miss out? Nope. You now have Jay Kinder or Tina Call or some amazing person that your group wanted in your group, building your group. You're not a part of their group. They're in your group, building your group. They get full rev share. You get full rev share. Nobody gets defrauded. Nobody gets left out. It is amazing. So here's where is a little different. If you sponsor Tina Call and Tina Call sells a home, you normally get rev share, right? Yes, but not in co-sponsoring because Tina Call's already in EXP under another group. So if Tina Call sells a home, that rev share that would have been, which is, whatever it would be for Tina, goes to her sponsor. And that's the way it should be. Okay. So if Tina said, if Wendy Goss, she's sponsored by, I believe, Krista Mayshore. Give me a thumbs up if I have that right, Wendy. Thumbs up? No? Okay. So doesn't matter, but let's say it was Krista Mayshore. It doesn't even matter, but you're in Krista Mayshore group, right?
Krista, Kim Renshaw, Linnea, then me.
So if you sponsor Wendy and Wendy sponsors your person in Las Vegas, Wendy totally she's going to teach him how to be a luxury agent. She's going to work with them. She'll want luxury. Wendy totally benefits. Instead of competing with Wendy, you're in Wendy's group. It's brilliant.
I am so excited about this.
Yeah. And I'm going to open up for Q&A, but here's the deal. If Wendy sells a $10 million house, do you get revenue share? You don't. That goes to Lindsay. Who'd you say? Lynette?
Linnea.
It goes to Linnea as it should. There's just a whole new business unit created under you, and all of Wendy's talents, all of her abilities gets to be used in 2 places now. And then people are like, well, what if someone takes advantage of this? Someone said, well, what if Jay Kinder markets the heck out of this? And I go, okay, let's say 20 people pick Jay as their sponsor or sponsor Jay into your organization, and then Jay sponsors 20 people. That just means Jay's building 20 different legs within your organization for you. You could get 100% of the revenue share. Like, there's no downside here, right? And so it is pretty awesome. They get all the funnels. Some people have funnels. Levi Lassick has a YouTube channel. Kim has her TikTok. She would teach them about TikTok. Wendy has this crazy thing called luxury that she does. She would teach them about that. And we all help people. We help people anyways. But let's be honest. If someone has a listing, you help them with their listing. You give them pointers. But if it's your listing, oh, baby, I'm sending my photographer. I'm paying for it. I'm going to do all the marketing. I'm going to invest in the signage. Like, you should get the signage. Oh, that sign, that luxury sign's like that big, beautiful one is like $600. I don't have. If it's your listing, are you going to spend the $600 for that $10 million listing? Yes, you are. And so all of you take the most talented people to EXP globally. We're talking Australia, the UK, Monaco, Nice, France. You will get people in other parts of the country. And instead of having someone in Cape Town or Johannesburg, South Africa, you could sponsor Steve Johnstone. He was, in my opinion, the #1 international agent in the world for EXP. Steve can sponsor him in Cape Town, Johannesburg. He has meetings every week. They do events every month. There's so much for them to plug into. Or you don't like this, you sponsor them in Cape Town. And they go, what do I do now? I'm like, pray, go get an office. Good luck. That's how we did it forever. So this co-sponsoring is beautiful. That's kind of how it works. So I'm going to open it up for questions. You could do it. I'll say this. They're announcing it April 1st. So it's going to be announced April 1st. You guys are getting the inside scoop. It's called the 1% Club, kind of, right? And then so both organizations do not get 100%. I just saw Casey saying. So for example, if you sponsor Wendy in Las Vegas and Wendy sponsors your person, Wendy's sponsor Linnea gets nothing. Linnea's sponsor gets nothing. Krista Mayshore gets nothing. It's a different business entity. What they get, like say you pick Kyle Wessel in San Diego, Curtis Johnson, Dan Beer sponsored Kyle, Curtis Johnson sponsored Dan, Chuck Fazio, those guys get nothing. Kyle's moved over, recreated a new entity in your business, and Kyle's upline gets nothing. And it's very fair because they're already making a boatload off of Kyle. They're already making a boatload off of Tina Cole. They're fine. It doesn't matter. It won't show up in your reg. Like Michelle is Tina Cole's sponsor in Raleigh, North Carolina. If you sponsor Tina Cole and Tina Cole sponsors your person, it won't show up in Michelle's back office. It won't be confusing because it won't exist there. It's a new thing, a new entity, and it shows up in your back office, and your sponsor will all see that. And so there's only an upside here, man. It is freaking awesome. So if you have a question, I want you to go down and hit reaction and raise your hand and go, explain this to me. I don't get it. So, yep. Okay. So instead of reading the chat, because I'm on my iPhone, I apologize, I'm in the airport. You have to raise your hand and I will answer your questions as you go. So Wendy, then Casey, go ahead. And then John. Go ahead, Wendy.
Okay, so I love it. And my brain is already working a million miles an hour right now, thinking of all the possibilities. It's been like that for a week. Thank you very much for that. Anyway, but so like I have Lanny on my team here in Las Vegas. She's not in my org. I kind of just like adopted her here, She is under Kim Renshaw, which is 2 sponsors up from me. So can I co-sponsor with Kim Renshaw and help Lanny build and help Lanny, have her team be able to plug into all my stuff?
It's for new people. It's nobody existing, right? If we're existing, if Kim Renshaw has somebody she wants to sponsor, Kim can sponsor.
Oh, it's not already here at EXP.
Yeah, you can't go. Well, I mean, you're going to sponsor. Let's say I want to do this with Kim, and Kim wants to do it with you. You could sponsor Kim, and then you put people under Kim. Kim doesn't put people under you, right? The co-sponsor is being given somebody. So it's just really for you sponsor someone out of the area and you can't help them. They're in Dallas. You're in Oregon.
But that's what I'm saying. Can Kim co-sponsor with me? That way I can help Lanny and help her build here.
You're in separate organizations?
We're both under Kim. So that's where it won't work.
So the answer is yes. What I can't do is do this with Casey Jiha. I can't do it with Don Yoakum. I can't do it with Tom Daves. They don't allow it within your 7 tiers going this way. Click, 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 click down. If you're side by side, if she's not in your organization, yes, she could do it. She could do this. And there's no downside. There's no downside to this. Go ahead. I look forward to your downside questions. And it's okay to ask. You're not being negative. Casey Jiha, go ahead.
Number one, thanks for putting this call together. So let's say that John Sy, I want to sponsor him because I have somebody in Canada.
Bingo. Kind of.
So
the best way to do this.
the person, so I'm the sponsor and John is the co-sponsor.
You sponsor John. John sponsors your agent. You were the sponsor of your agent. You get the FLQA, even though you didn't put them under you. You put them under John. You get the FLQA. Very important distinction. Thank you for saying that. You sponsor John. If John sells a house, you don't get any rev share because he's already in EXP. That goes to his existing upline. We can't defraud them. If John sponsors 10 more people, they don't go into you. That goes under his existing upline because we can't defraud them. But something new, John can build that leg. John gets full rev share. They're not competing with him in British Columbia, Vancouver. He gets 7 levels. You get 7 levels. 100% rev share.
So how does that work? Because if the new person that gets sponsored under John, my new person that gets sponsored under John builds a group of 100,
Right.
if he's paying the rev share out twice, which means it's either going to get diluted or the company's financially in a different spot. Like, how are they paying out rev share to John and me on the new group that gets built?
Yeah, they're paying it out one time. Just forget about John's ever done anything. John's a new entity. You sponsor John. He's on your tier 1. And then John sponsors your person. Your person sponsors, let's be realistic and just say 30. You could say 130.
Okay.
30 are on what tier of yours, Casey?
They're going to be on 1, 2, 3.
Tier 3. If those 30 each sponsor one each, there's 60 on how many?
On 4.
Yep. And you get all the rev share, tier after tier after tier. They're not paying out twice. They're paying out once. That's how it works now.
So John doesn't get any of the rev share from that group.
He's John's on your tier 1. So that person's on
John's tier 2.
John, the person you gave John, it's his tier 1. So he gets paid the tier 1 money. Everyone they tell us John's tier 2, he gets paid the tier 2 money. Same way now.
I got it. Thank you.
Yep. I'm telling you, it's awesome. There's no double. Who doesn't, the way it'd be paid twice if John's upline got paid again. John is sponsored by a gentleman out of Denver. He's sponsored by Chris Bear, who's sponsored by Cliff Freeman and me. Then we'd all be getting paid twice. And that's why it's not being paid out twice.
So the incentive for John to build this new group is as if it's a new group in his own organization.
It is. It is a new leg for John in his organization. It is. And he gets full.
The FLQA.
He gets paid 100%. John doesn't get the FLQA, you get it, even though you put him under John.
Correct.
That way you could still build FLQAs and not lose FLQAs. John doesn't get the FLQA, but who cares? He doesn't need the FLQAs. He just gets a bigger group. Or you could sponsor him, not do this, and you're competing with John in the British Columbia market. He's got this, he's got a group, he's got trainings, and that's fine. That's what we've done for 16 years. That works just fine. And I'm nice to people in Sacramento that aren't in my group and vice versa. But this is next level because you're not just adopting someone and being nice. You actually totally financially benefit from it. And so there's a little different there, right? Are you with me?
I'm clear. I got it. Thank you for clarifying.
You bet. Other questions? This is great. I think I have Russ and Jared. Go ahead, Russ. I hope
Wasn't
I'm not
it
missing.
me first?
Oh, sorry, John. Poor John.
First.
For some reason, you dropped down one. Sorry. Go.
Yeah, I'm just curious. Is this the same as the FLQA sponsor program?
No, totally different. This is
Totally different. So the FLQA, just be clear, one person gets FLQA and the other person gets the rev share.
Yeah, forget about that program.
Forget about that.
No.
I'm confused now. Okay.
Okay, so let's say, John, you sponsor someone, and where does Mike Sherrard live?
Calgary.
He's not in your group. You sponsor
Yes.
someone in Calgary. You could go it alone, or you could sponsor Mike Sherrard, and Mike Sherrard could sponsor your person. He's really strong in Calgary. So Mike Sherrard's on your level 1. Do you get rev share from Mike Sherrard? Yes or no?
Wait, but Mike is, you're talking about if Mike was brand new to EXP.
He is brand new. He's a new entity. Do you get rev share from Mike in Calgary? If you sponsor Mike Sherrard, do you get rev share?
Yes, but he's already at EXP.
No, you don't. Anything he sells goes to his existing upline. It was a trick question for you, John. So remember, he's already got an existing upline. If John sells a house, it goes to his existing upline. Otherwise, it would defraud his existing upline. There'd be a double payment. Okay. Not going to get anything. Who cares? Do you want that? You know what it is? If he caps, it's $1,400. Who cares about that?
Right.
Mike, now you get for $1,400 you gave up, you get Mike Sherrard. You get his office, you get his meetings, you get his funnels, you get all that stuff. And sorry, someone's calling me right now. And you get all that stuff. And he's building with you and Mike Sherrard in Calgary together as one. And then Mike, it's his tier one. Now, if they sell a house, Mike gets rev share. If they sell a house, you get rev share. If they tell 10 people, Mike gets rev share on 10 people. Tier two for Mike, tier three for you. If those people tell 20 or 30, tier three for Mike, tier four for you. It's just the 7 levels. The one, and then you get the FLQA, not Mike Sherrard, because you're the one who kind of did it. So you're the sponsor. Mike Sherrard in Calgary is the co-sponsor, and you get.
Oh,
it's awesome, brilliant.
I got it.
Brilliant. And here's the deal. You want to know how Real does this? Real's been doing co-sponsoring. They've been rubbing it in our face for years. If you were to do this in Real, you sponsor Mike Sherrard. The company is, we're going to have to administer that. So we're going to take 10% of all the revenue share forever.
Yeah.
So take 10% off. Now there's 90% left. You get 45% of the revenue share, and Mike Sherrard gets 45%. So instead of getting 100%, the way this program works, you get 100, you get 45%, which is 55% haircut at Real. At EXP, you get 100%. It's brilliant. Nobody's doing this in the world. We just came up with a revolutionary breakthrough for how we do things.
I got it. So let me just reiterate what you just said, Brent. If I sponsor Mike, he's already at EXP, but if I sponsor Mike and then Mike sponsors the person that I want to put under him, Mike becomes my tier one.
Correct.
And then that person becomes my tier two. I still get rev share. Mike gets rev share as his tier one. I get FLQA.
And everyone they tell, they're just different levels. For you, it's a level deeper. For Mike, it's a level closer. But you get Mike for free. I mean, I guess it costs you $1,400. It's awesome. You guys can build with anybody at the company you like.
I just don't get rev share for Mike because he's my tier one now.
$1,400.
Who cares? Who cares? Who cares?
Who would pay $1,400 to have Tina Call working for you? To have me working for you. So a lot of you can pick me if I'm not in your group. I'm working for you, building in your group. I help you because I help you. But it is different when like at the office when I was at Remax, someone couldn't use the copier. Here's my copier code. I can't log in MLS. Here, I'll help you log in. But am I going on listing appointments with them? No. But now Daddy Bear's going on listing appointments because he's benefiting too. And it was that the only reason you help because you make money? Well, no, but do you mow your neighbor's lawn? I mean, you may mow his lawn, but never mind. That was a bad illustration. But
this is awesome. Thank you, Brent.
I will go to, I think, Russell, then Jared.
This is awesome, by the way. And for example, I have a gentleman that I'm trying to help in Texas, not in our group at all, Brent. And I could essentially sponsor him, Cesar, and then I can help him build too, right? Like I can just put somebody underneath him, and then anybody from that point forward, he and I both get paid on. I just don't get paid on him because he's already here.
$1,400. Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, basically, it's as if EXP was starting from scratch, and I was the very first employee at EXP, and I don't get paid on my front line, but both of us get paid on everybody else.
Yes, I'm telling you, we ripped this apart for 2 hours. There's no down.
Here's my other question, though. Okay, ready? I'm going to throw a curveball at you. Fast start program. Who makes what?
Are you talking about the $4,000 thing?
Yeah. So like right now in the fast start program, right? The first year, the primary makes $4,000 on all of the people they sponsor. So how does that work with this program?
I think you still get it. I think you still get it if it's an FLQA, right? It's your front line and you get it, I would say. Not sure, but that one I'm not totally positive on. We'll get back.
They're technically your second line. So I get that they're your FLQA.
I would say it goes to you because it's your second line. You're going to get the bonus. It's a bonus of, what is it? It's 4,000 from 14. So that'd be, whatever that is, 26.
Yeah. So essentially on my second tier, I could get 4,000 plus 1,600 that first year based upon the old payout. So I could essentially make 5,600 bringing somebody in under somebody else for the first 12 months.
I'm going to say that's the way I think it is, but I'm not positive. Nobody brought that up yesterday. We'll figure it out, All
right. Sorry. Blame it on the math guy. Thank you, Brent. It's awesome.
No, it's fine. And if you don't want to do it because, well, hey, I might not get that $2,600. You're being short-sighted. I would give up the $1,400. Tina Cole was never in your group anyways. You never gave up anything. KCG, how was never in your group. And besides, She doesn't sell real estate anymore. I don't think so. Neither do I. So you're not getting anything anyways, but you're getting someone who totally knows how to do this. Kurt Shewell in Detroit. You can sponsor them in Detroit. You can have Kurt help them grow. You would never get anything on Kurt anyways. You're not losing anything. And you guys get this. It's awesome. Okay.
Awesome.
Go to
Thanks,
Jared Davis and then Brian. Jared, you're up with Brent Gove on the Love Connection, baby. Have at it.
Love it. So if we've got an agent that's already at EXP, then I completely understand it for the new ones. Sounds great. I like it. If someone's already at EXP and we've been plugging them in as a kindness, people at our team, people out of area that we're helping grow the area just because we like them. Who is the one that decides that they could go to a dual sponsor at this point? So like, let's say I have an agent, an hour or two away from me that I'm helping and they're sponsored by somebody else and I've just been being nice. If they say, man, I want you as that co-sponsor, is it their sponsor that has to say, okay, I'm okay with this? Or who would actually be allowed to make this change if somebody's already in the company and we're not in lines together at all?
Ultimately, whoever signs up, they get to choose who their sponsor is. So, but you know how it is. We talk to people, they're excited. And if they're locally, just sign them up. You don't need to insert somebody, right? This will be used 20% of the time, 80% of the time. We will never do this. It's not going to be done every time you sponsor somebody. It's when you sponsor someone not in your market, someone in Reno when you're in Seattle, someone in Oklahoma City and you're in New York.
I get that. But not for the new people. I'm talking about if somebody's already at EXP and they're like, well, I'm sponsored, but I'd love to be in Brent Gove's group now as well.
Oh, he's not in Brent Gove's. He puts Brent Gove in his group. So he's got someone to sign up in Sacramento. I would only do it for someone that was in Sacramento. I'm not doing this. If I could have 1,000 people reach out to me, no, I'm not interested. I wouldn't do it. I would in Sacramento because I have an office in Sacramento. I have meetings in Sacramento. I wouldn't be able to benefit them. They need to, if they have someone in Tampa, find someone who's kicking butt in Tampa with an office that has meetings, then plug them into that person. That's the fiduciary. That's the right thing to do.
Got it. So the reality is if somebody is sponsored into EXP already, there's no way to let them be co-sponsored with me and somebody else. But from that point forward, you just figure, hey, I'm never going to make any rev share on you, but I will just help you and plug you into everything. And then you can just make me the co-sponsor on everything you build from this point forward. But there's no way to go back and change somebody that's already been here for 3 years.
Nothing will be changed because that would be not fair to uplines in the system that's already in place. But they want, like Jared, you're in Richmond, Virginia. I'm in Richmond, Virginia, but I would like to build with you instead of compete with you. My next person, I'm going to sponsor you, Jared, and you're going to sponsor my person if you're okay with that. Like I will turn people down all the time. I'm only if they're in Sacramento because just not going to do it. I go, where's your person? My person's in Las Vegas. You're going to Wendy Goss. My person's in La Jolla, California. You should go under Pete Middleton. That's what I'm going to do. I've already got 40 growing legs. I don't need 40 more. I promise to help people. I'm going to help them. And so really this is for this is for people who are out of your area. Let's plug them in. You sponsor the person in that area, your person, you get the FOQA, you get 100% of the rev share. It's amazing.
Got it.
I got time for 2 more questions. Then I got to literally get on an airplane. They're boarding my flight right now. Brian, then John. Go ahead, Brian.
Hey, thank you, Brent. Jared kind of touched on the question a little bit. So regardless, should we decide that I think would be more beneficial, like for you in an example, and we're trying to get somebody that's in San Francisco, I have to, I guess it's the order of it. Do I have to reach out to you first and ask you, would it be okay if you co-sponsor a person?
You tell them, hey, you're going to go into Brent Gove in Sacramento, and Brent Gove doesn't want to do it, right? You're going to look like a fool. And now you got a problem. Well, maybe I should just go into Brent. Nice to meet you, Brian, but I'm out of here. And so, and if someone were to come to me and you say, hey, go into Brent, and I said, yeah, I'll do it. Then they come to me and go, Brent, hey, forget Brian. I just want to be with you. I don't even want Brian involved. I go, not going to happen, So if you don't trust somebody, don't do this, right? And I don't see any of those leaders going, okay, I'm going to take them and cut you out, right? Is it possible? I suppose so. But you're talking about, getting struck by lightning. You're talking about the really rare situation. Again, you don't have to do this. I think it's in their best interest. It's a beautiful program. But I would definitely ask first, hey, I have someone, would you interested in co-sponsoring them? Heck yeah, let's do it. If they're in my market, yeah, that's fine.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bonsai, you're up.
Okay, so if I have a new person, they want to join me, but they also looking to interview Randy. I go, hey, you know what? Why don't we do this? I sponsor Randy. You go under Randy. You're my tier 2. Randy's my tier 1 now. It works like that, right?
So you say that one more time. I might
So
have
if I have a person, they're like, oh, I love you, John, but I also love Randy. I'm talking to you first, but I like Randy. So why don't we do this? You go under Randy. He sponsors you, but I sponsor Randy. Then boom, we all win. Fair?
you're talking about Randy Bird?
Randy Dick.
Oh, Randy Dick. Yeah,
We're in the same market, right? And then we compete against each other.
Yes, you can build together. They get John and Randy instead of just John or Randy. And we've had situations come up where like, golly, I went to college with Brian Morales. I love him, but man, I'm in Nashville, and Jake Hinder and Ashley, they're really strong in Nashville. I'm really torn. And right now they have to choose between their college roommate Brian Morales or Clark Broom or Jane Ashley Nelson, and it's like a wishbone. It's like, it's like Kramer versus Kramer, right? Which parents you going with, And so for the kids in a divorce, you're going to go with your mom or your dad. And so it's hard for people. This way, go, hey, I tell you what, I'll sponsor Jay and Ashley. They'll sponsor you in Nashville, and you get us both. Problem solved. It is beautiful. There's so many good things you guys don't even know about. It's awesome.
And Brent, just follow up to that question. So as you know, somebody emailed you about leaving me as their tier 1 and going under my tier 4. Remember that?
Yeah.
So now I can say, you know what? Don't leave, because they started a team together, my tier 4 and tier 1. Don't leave. Whoever you have, sponsor, put them under each other, and you can build.
Put them on 4 person. They can sponsor your tier 4 person. Your tier 4 person can sponsor them. Now, instead of being under your tier 4, the tier 4 person, who they really like, obviously, is actually in their group working for them.
Perfect.
It's good how powerful this is.
So they don't need to leave anymore.
They
6 months.
Would they? By the way, that got shot down. They're not.
Yeah. Got it. Thank you, Brent. Safe flight.
It solves these kind of problems, right? It solves. Yeah. By the way, I've been begging Glenn Sanford for years and years to get rid of the 6-year rule, 6-month rule. Hey, in 6 months, stay away, come back in and come out under Clark Broom.
Yeah.
Back under John Sice. 6 months you could do it. And people would do it. They would quit, go work for an independent, come back 6 months later and change sponsorships group.
Yeah.
This solves that problem. But number 2, if they still were hell bent on it, but it's so moving from like March 1st on, if they leave, they have to wait a year, not 6 months, because it's good for people to be switching like that. It's a very bad situation. Trust me, it's bad for the culture. So they're in, and if they don't like it, tough. They can quit and leave for a year, but and come back in. But it's just bad for the culture for that kind of thing to happen.
Hey, Brent, I have a quick question for you, Brent. Hey, I know this isn't announced yet. Do you want this video public? Do you want people sharing this? Do we need to keep this locked down?
On a YouTube channel quiet. You guys are getting the inside. This is like a really QT thing yesterday, although they didn't say we couldn't share, and man, it's over. Game over if you don't say that to Brent Gove. But here's the deal. It's being announced April 1st, instituted May 1st. May 1st, because they have to build the software on the.
Hey, can someone mute Jeff Russell, please? Okay, so you don't want us to send this link out to everybody, is that correct?
No, don't put it on my channel. You can send these guys a copy of it. I think it's fine, but let's not post it on my YouTube channel. And then you guys can listen to it again and again. But it starts May 1st, announced April 1st, starts May 1st. And then I'll address this next week again when we get on here. I can do more Q&A. It's good. No matter what you think the problem is, we wrestled with it for hours. There's no downside to this program. If you think it's bad, you don't understand it. And I'll explain to you. This is going to cause it's like strapping turbochargers to a V12 engine. We are going to kick it in average drive. This is going to be amazing, you guys. I got to go. Literally, they're about to shut the door to my flight. I love you guys. Hey, in 5 minutes, Russell is going to do U.S. home bids. It's an amazing program. He's going to share for 5 to 7 minutes. You got to hear it. Don't go anywhere. He's been working on this for weeks and weeks. I prepared him for this moment. He's totally prepared. I'm kidding. I asked him to do it while we were talking, but he'll be great. He's that kind of guy. Love you guys. I'm off for Scottsdale. I'm spending the next 4 days with Tony Robbins and Jordan Peterson.
Wow.
And Jim Quick from who wrote the book Limitless, and Dean Graciosi. So I'm going to go hang out, but I'm excited to meet Jordan Peterson. Take care, you guys. We'll see you. And we start in 4 minutes with Russell, U.S. Home Goods. Listen, give it a listen. Bye.